What if I told you that Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner, the two men dominating modern tennis like a two-man empire, are actually missing something essential, something that legends like John McEnroe and Björn Borg had in abundance, something a former Grand Slam champion says today's tennis desperately lacks? Well, that's exactly the argument an ex-pro just brought back to life. And it's turning heads across the tennis world that you're watching Net Rush Report, breaking down the biggest stories, controversies, and debates shaking up the world of tennis. If you love the sport, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and let's get into it. Carlos Alcaraz and Jannik Sinner have rewritten the definition of dominance that in 2025. They did the unthinkable, swept all 4 Grand Slams for the second straight year, with Alcaraz ending as world number 1 and Sinner right behind him. Together, they're so far ahead in ranking points that even world number 3 Alexander Zverev looks like he's playing a different tour. But to one man, this isn't greatness. This is a problem. Former French Open champion Adriano Panatta shook up the tennis community after telling radio DJ that the Alcaraz-Sinner era lacks something critical: variety. Panatta argues that tennis today has become predictable, a world ruled by powerful baseliners playing similar styles with minor variations. According to him, the 70s offered something modern tennis just doesn't: contrast, unpredictability, and stylistic diversity that he pointed to. His own era, a time when Björn Borg and Guillermo Vilas dominated with heavy baseline grinding, but could still be disrupted by aggressive artists like John McEnroe or players like Panatta himself. Back then, he says, the top 10 was a battlefield of clashing weapons: serve and volleyers, counterpunchers, net rushers, clay tacticians, disruptors, and power hitters. Every matchup was a chess puzzle. Every Grand Slam was a toss-up, and Panatta isn't just talking from the sidelines. He's the only man to beat Borg twice at the French Open. Today, Panatta believes players like Alcaraz and Sinner mostly face toned-down versions of their own style. Strong from the baseline, fast, athletic, and disciplined, but not wildly different. Not stylistically threatening. Not chaotic the way tennis once was. If there's one thing that isn't lacking in drama, it's the Sinner-Alcaraz rivalry. They met 6 times in 2025 that Alcaraz won 4 of those 6 that Sinner defeated him in the Wimbledon final and again at the ATP finals. And in Saudi Arabia's 6 Kings Slam exhibition, Sinner walked away with a $6 million payday. Overall, their rivalry now stands at 10-6 for Alcaraz. But even with their brilliance, Panatta insists the sport is missing that one magical ingredient. And that brings us to today's big question. Did McEnroe and Borg truly have something that Alcaraz and Sinner don't? Was their era richer, wilder, and more balanced than the modern game? Or is Panatta simply longing for a past that can't be recreated? Let's break it all down, right here on Net Rush Report.